There's a siren, Pat, in the background.
There's the opportunity for a lawyer joke here, but I'm not going to make it.
All right.
There are a variety of things that are possible. I wrote down some.
We have some ideas.
Seasonal allergies. That's kind of exciting.
You seem like you have many seasons.
Oh, I do. Lots of seasons. I think there used to be four. Now in Illinois there might be 6 or 7.
How about this one? Scamming the scam artist.
Welcome, everybody. We're in downtown St. Charles at the wonderful Alexander's, part of the 𝐀𝐥𝐞𝐱𝐚𝐧𝐝𝐞𝐬 Restaurant Group. Just a couple of guys. We're with Ray, Pat, of course, and ownership is segueing in. We are going to go old school today. We're going to have a podcast. We're just going to talk about some things that are on our minds at this point in time. One of the first things, though, I think we need to do is wish everybody a happy Veterans Day. Thank everybody for their service if they served. Thank everybody for their sacrifices. It's a great day. I just think we can do more for veterans than we are. I think our country has a lot of history that we need to run from. The way we treat veterans, I think, is part of it.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up because as we take care on Veterans Day, I know you remember your father's service, my father's service. Shout out probably at least to one of my former students who, remember all the time here in St. Charles, Captain Chuck Cooper, class of 75. I always liked Chuck a lot, and his ultimate sacrifice in Desert Storm was to be noted and to be honored. Nicely done.
And from our podcast with Hands of Hope, I did some research and looked at the suicide rate of the average veteran, and it's still way too high. It's very sad. But anyways, today we're going to talk all things. We're going to talk a little baseball. We're going to talk a little gambling. We're going to talk... what else are we going to talk about?
It's right on your sheet.
I had an
How about the shutdown that's no longer in existence?
Shut down.
Maybe. We haven't got the House vote.
Well, the votes, they haven't voted this yet. But we're going to try not to talk too much Trump and politics, but we're going to have some of that. And the owner, Bob 𝐀𝐥𝐞𝐱𝐚𝐧𝐝𝐞𝐬 Restaurant Group,
stop by
friend
here.
of the podcast, is going to stop by and talk to us a little bit about what he's got going in the Christmas season.
Let's throw a shout out. Again, we're throwing some shout outs here. How about a shout out to a couple of high school football teams?
Right.
They're still doing well as we tape this. They're alive and well in the quarterfinals. They'll be both St. Charles North and the Batavia Bulldogs.
Right. Within our jurisdiction of the Fox Valley. So we'll talk about that.
Actually, Oswego is also alive and well in the tournament. North and Batavia played once already, and it was a barn burner. Batavia had a big lead in the last 2 minutes. St. Charles got snuck in and won it. So, there's a lot of rivalry here and so on, and we take no sides here and wishing both sides the best.
A little trivia, St. Charles North. Who won the first state title over there?
As far as...
anything.
Oh, I would say the mock trial team.
That's exactly correct.
You see why he asked that question, folks?
Anyways,
you won 3 of them. You should be
very proud
of that.
Very proud. Anyways, we're going to be back after a word from our sponsors, and we hope you come back and enjoy the fun and the frolic.
And by the way, he said we're in downtown St. Charles, but really we're near West. Pat sometimes gives a little directional challenge.
Well, actually, I'm from the West, so it is downtown St. Charles in our estimation. But anyways, come on back after a word from our sponsors.
Come to the 𝐂𝐤𝐤𝐬s and come home for the holidays. December 13th and 14th, the 𝐁𝐥𝐞𝐈 Symphony Orchestra and special guests, including the 𝐁𝐥𝐞𝐈 Master Chorale and Integrity School of Dance, present a holiday spectacular. Chad Goodman leads all your favorite songs and carols. Tickets start at just $20. Order yours online anytime at 𝐁𝐿GENSymphony.org.
All right, we're back. Just a couple of guys. We'll call it Western St. Charles, home of Alexander's. And of course, right across the street, Rookies, where you can get a quality burger at a low price.
And watch football on Sunday.
And right across from them, St. Charles Police Department. Gotta watch yourself a little bit as you pull on.
I gotta care there too.
We are joined today by the owner of this restaurant, Alexander's, as well as the owner, founder, whatever you want to call it, for tax purposes, 𝐀𝐥𝐞𝐱𝐚𝐧𝐝𝐞𝐞𝐫. And we're here today to talk a little bit about some kind of a game or raffle or fun that he has with respect to Christmas and 6 of his restaurants, pop-ups, I guess.
Looks good.
Why don't you explain for the folks what we're talking about?
Well, some people are not familiar with pop-ups because it's kind of a city thing. So you're not familiar with it.
Chicago.
Well, something pop-ups.
For the stuck.
There's no raffle. It's a pop-up. So this restaurant would be transformed into a winter wonderland. Well, a tinsel table. It's not going to be Alexander's anymore.
In the month of December.
Yes. There'll be a sign outside, and when you walk in, it's going to look like Christmas hit a fan and straight all over the place. Very nice. So you're going to walk in and see a lot of Christmas stuff, like obnoxious Christmas.
Lots of Christmas.
So a lot of, I live in Richmond, Brickenville, a lot of bars in the winter.
Right.
Pop-ups that have Grinch rings. Just for fun.
I was just playing dumb so you could explain.
Well, I'm used to explaining. So, we're looking forward to it. This is one of them. That's about it. Like you said, there's 6. Each one will have its own unique concept. And as you go to all of them, you can get a prize. It's a t-shirt with my face on it. So you have it.
Well, all the collectors at some point. So Rookies and all that, New Old Republic, they're all going to have pop-ups.
Not all. 6 special locations.
I've got, if I may, the Naughty List, the Hoffman Estates,
Hoffman Estates with you.
Snowpoke Social in South Algiers,
Dinnerville Squire.
the Green Guys Grotto in West Dundee.
Yes, that's why
That was on there. Jaguarists Hideaway, Campton Hills, and the night before Christmas in Woodstock.
I have with a K.
Right? I almost there was less than 4.
The objective is to go to all 6 of these, take pictures, take photos, all those things.
Enjoy yourself, see the decor, giving Christmas spirit and your kids, obviously very nice.
And then what happens? You enter a
I go to the bank to pay for those pop-ups.
You enter a contest, and somehow you can win some.
Fighting Bob Harris is the 𝐵𝐿𝐵 restaurants in the Fox Valley. 𝐵𝐿𝐵.
I like that.
He used to put his cigarette out with his word.
He does not have a wooden leg though. He has 5 legs, and he played football from wire. We all know.
No smoking in the restaurant.
And it's quite a Jack's award.
First place.
Yeah, well,
Loud and proud.
And recently you won some kind of a contest for ribs, right?
We did in West Dundee, the Northwest Rib Fest.
Nice.
5 competitors. Proudly to say we did win that. Last year we finished in second. Last year a food truck guy won, one of the smoker guys.
You gotta watch out for this.
You gotta watch out for the fast. This year is the sweaty month of nothing happens.
Yeah.
So it's good.
And what do you win from that? I said, right, I would think.
Just a little plaque that says best ribs in Fox Valley. So it's starting to get bigger. We're held by the Assembly Restaurant in West Dundee. Very nice people, nice restaurant. Yeah, it was glad. I'm glad we won.
Outside of the pop-ups, anything else going on with the restaurants locally?
That's our big focus right now. We got our promo coming for Christmas, where you buy one and get 50, but I get 10 free, but I get up to $25 for the class. I love to do that. I get customers that buy them for themselves. They buy like $1,000 worth. You get 200 for free. Somebody get like $2,000, you get 500 half this way. Yeah, you more than happy they do that.
Maybe with the podcast.
Yeah, what's all? I'll think that's called $2,000. About 10. Just a little note of the green guy got also.
Yeah.
That's based on the Grinch, but someone said can't say that word. It's a bad word. Something like that. We had to go to green guy. I said to change it to green Bob, but nobody liked that idea.
Well, lawyers are always over you. Don't ever forget that. We have one sitting at the table here, but they're always investigating this and that and the other.
I figured that by the time we got the notice in the year or so, but they're like, said, don't do it. I'm like, okay. So I think green Bob and green Ray like better, but we went with green guy.
You can't go wrong with red. Right?
That,
What were the colors are associated with Christmas? You got the red, you got the green. What else is there?
yeah. Well, green was the big.
Right. I didn't yeah, I didn't.
It's okay. So we're going to do fun. We'll see what happens.
Well, we're excited about that. You want to talk a little bit about?
So hopefully we'll have another podcast here when it's the 10 thing.
Oh, sure. Can be that. You know, we have nothing but interest in doing the podcast on the western side of St. Charles.
I always want to make sure that every time someone watches a podcast, if Bob's sitting next to me or around me, I always want to thank him for all of his support.
Yes. Not only our support, friend of the podcast, but everything he does in this town.
We'll do that. So that goes without saying. I have a lot of personal debt to the mayor for bailing me out of many situations in my younger days. And
It's, all I can say is you're a fine object.
There's a pamphlet available. It's a joke.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
We really
Always a pleasure to see you guys.
and
You love a couple of guys. And hopefully one day you'll expand to 3 guys. And
But you shouldn't say, well, I don't know if there are enough microphones on that.
that would be very interesting. That because says that we can't have a guest, the host, joining us and then bring somebody else in. Bob would put somebody to the fire.
If you ever like on vacation, you have a sub, like I could sub for one of you gentlemen. Like,
why should we say that? Sounds right. Well, I'll stay home.
that's what on vacation or something. They're out of commission.
All right.
I'm a lawyer, but we don't have vacation.
In fact, he's in the photographer took note of that. I saw him writing something down or whatever.
Bob, we're here for it. Maybe we can superimpose me. They put me in after the fact. All right, we're going to go, and thank you very much, Bob, for helping us. If they want more information about the Christmas and the pop-ups, there's a website.
Your website, I think it's called 𝐀𝐥𝐞𝐻RISTMAS.com. So I don't even know. 𝐀𝐥𝐞𝐻RISTMAS.com, I'm pretty sure. It'll be in Fox Valley Magazine.
𝐀𝐥𝐿Christmas.com.
And our
With a K.
crack producer will roll there right by the screen.
Following along with green people.
Yes.
Sounds good. And it'll be in the magazine next month, and it'll be.
Yes.
Just hear a lot of it.
You're the publisher right over here.
Yeah.
So there's a lot.
Have a great Veterans Day. Have a great holiday season, and we really appreciate everything. Thank
My
you.
pleasure. Thank you.
Take care.
Nice seeing you guys always.
All right, Bob. Take care. Thank you.
Billy, what are these chains for?
Has she been naughty this year?
And maybe you've been a bad boy yourself.
Well, this is Billy and Lauren here from the Diamond Air with affordable solutions to correct misbehavior of your loved one, or better yet, reward it.
You can reward that naughty behavior this year with a pair of beautiful solitaire earrings, or already have some? We'll enhance those studs by surrounding them with a halo of brilliant diamonds that we call earring jackets. And for that really naughty behavior, choose from a vast selection of colorless, ideal cut loose diamonds.
Because we buy our diamonds directly from the cutter, skipping the middle guy, you can give her designer quality at half the price.
So call 630-355-RING or come visit us at the Diamond Air, and we will help you keep that special someone naughty all year long.
With the Diamond Air, you will get a larger, better quality diamond for less, because remember, gentlemen, size does matter.
Theriault Booth, a leading local law firm, is located on the beautiful Fox River in downtown St. Charles. Here's Ryan Theriault.
For better or worse, there are just times people need a lawyer. Whether you are involved in a work injury, in an automobile crash, selling a home, or even planning for your estate after your passing, we're here. We're local. We're part of the community.
For more information, visit Theriault Booth on the web at tbfirm.com or give them a call at 630-526-4242.
Okay, we're back at Alexander's in Midtown, St. Charles, and really enjoyed Bob Karras coming in talking about Christmas and the pop-ups. But Ray, we're here to talk about a variety of things.
Yes, and if I may, before we get into anything specifically, I want to tell you that I got a few complaint notes from people in Batavia. If you recall, we did the Kenny Anderson tape, and I asked you a specific question that day. I said, does Kenny Anderson belong in the Hall of Fame? You didn't say he did or did not belong. All you said was, well, until, Jim Plunkett gets in, I'm going to reserve judgment. That's paraphrasing, but whatever. And I guess my question simply is this, whether Plunkett deserves to be in or does not deserve to be in. Do you think Plunkett was a better quarterback than Anderson or not?
Well, I'll say this, that Jimmy Plunkett had some rough years with some bad teams.
Yeah, four good seasons out of 15.
But at the end of the day, 2 Super Bowls,
yes,
an MVP in a Super Bowl.
Yes.
Lots of playoff wins, unlike our friend Kenny. So do you get into the Hall of Fame based on yardage, depends on TDs versus interceptions, or do you get in because you win rings?
Well, it's accomplishments, and I would agree with it, but as you said, as far as yardage is concerned, a considerable difference, 32,000 versus 25,000. Touchdown pass, 197 versus 164. My position would simply be Anderson deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, and I'm not against Plunkett being in because I think you articulate very well his credentials. So, I think you came off as, I don't want to talk about any of them until Plunkett gets in.
Well, yeah, you got to stand by your people. And the whole thing that bothers me is we've got this Eli Manning thing. And because
look at this, we got,
oh my God.
We have our Dutch baby.
Make sure we get some view of that. We'll have a little bit of after about it. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Next time, Mike.
Oh, Lord, look at this. Thank you. Thanks to the house for bringing some nice
dessert. Fantastic.
Yes, Bob,
what's what, as they say?
It's a big airport, I guess. I feel like it's the Dutch baby. It's like a German style. Now I saw it was weird with the lemon they serve it, but if you put it on, I bet it's incredible.
Nice.
The lemon.
Well, we are very welcome and thankful and looking.
Let's move this along so I can have some of that.
That's right.
I also eat when I'm talking.
My point is Eli Manning ruins the whole discussion because, he's on TV. His brother is famous. Brother's in the Hall of Fame. Let's make it because he won 2 Super Bowls. So that kind of, maybe they cancel Plunkett and Eli cancel each other out.
All right.
But then how do you justify Kenny Anderson?
Well, I justify him with his record for this guy. And there's plenty of people in the Hall of Fame that didn't win anything.
That's right.
So I'll leave it at that.
Let's not forget that John Madden heard Kenny Stabler died. And then the next thing you know, John Madden made some calls and Kenny Stabler was in the Hall of Fame.
Well, let's see. It's who you know. Anyway, moving along.
Yeah. So that's football. We've talked a little bit about the IHSA and the playoffs that are coming up. One of the things that I wanted to talk about is baseball, basketball, and let's get into this gambling thing a little bit.
Well, we've just come off of what some people are saying as one of the best World Series of all time. Do you concur with that?
I was there for every 18 innings, and I enjoyed the heck out of it.
Was it one of the best ever?
And I think so.
I would probably use it that, only to say that I think it rivaled the 75 World Series. A lot of our audience probably doesn't know that. They didn't see it, but I saw it, and I know Carlton Fisk hit that home run, and the Reds came back and won Game 7. And that people say that was great, and I agree with that. So in my lifetime, I would say this one and that 75 the two best in my opinion.
That's after they broke up the A's.
Well, yeah, the A's weren't great. They were going scoring. It was a matter of them always just, exactly it. You broke the A's up, and that's what happened. 17 to 74.
Cincinnati.
But you brought up, by the way, though, as far as that was certainly concerned, who stands out? Did Yamamoto deserve the MVP?
Absolutely.
I agree.
Now, the question is, how does he recover from all that pitching? I don't know the answer to that, but, if he were a 12-year-old kid, he would have been allowed to pitch that much.
I got to say this, though. I'm going to make sure I throw this is to bias. That's likes to show his bias on occasion. I will as well. Talking about baseball in general, what aggravates me as a diehard White Sox fan is the fact that 20 years ago, the White Sox put together what I think to be the greatest, if not the greatest, playoff run in the history of baseball. No one, because they're second-class citizens. And they are in Chicago to the Cubs. Nobody ever gave credit for that. 4 complete games, the 4-0 wipeout of the Astros, and it was an 11 out of 12 playoff win. I went to the only playoff loss, as a matter of fact. But the fact is that aggravates me on baseball on that regard. It's a matter of the Dodgers. It seems like the Dodgers, they get all this national exposure and nutrition, and then and speaking of national exposure and the Dodgers itself, are they the best team that money can buy?
Well, I will say this. Toronto spent a lot of money, too.
Yes.
But in relationship to the Dodgers, Toronto did a very good job and just won the World Series, I believe, by a couple of inches on that play at the plate. So I don't know sometimes if it's money or if it's just the Blue Jays talked about they had this team, this vibe, this magic, and they've already seen some free agents come back to the Blue Jays. They've got something going. And I think I talked to you about this before. The Dodgers do too. And I walked away and I liked both teams very well. I thought I was going to hate the Dodgers because of this money thing. I did not.
I'm all for supply and demand, and that's, of course, how these salaries now are set. The owners bid the price up, and that's what happens. But the negative side to that, boy, forgive me for saying this because I've never been setting a rule. But basketball, football, and hockey all have salary caps. And to me, that allows for a lot more teams to get involved in the playoff chase. Baseball is the same team all the time. And if you want to get to that World Series, you got to pay for it. And I think the net result is now the owners have backed themselves in the and then they're gonna try to get out of it in 27. I hope I'm wrong. Have a lockdown, man. They're gonna lock the players out until they supposedly cave in. But make no mistake about it, the baseball players union was the strongest in the world. And I think those players will dig in deep. That's just my opinion. I hope I'm wrong though, because they have a work stoppage in baseball. And the second best pastime in the country after the NFL would be a sacrament.
Well, I think if you want these teams like Las Vegas now and some of these other teams to be competitive, something has to happen in order to bring in fairness and equality. I don't know how you do it, but obviously players and owners money to do.
Well, speaking of players and money, we then get off on the side here, and I raised this awful recent set of events regarding gambling.
It started with the NBA, and we learned all sorts of things about from the FBI about magic tables and magic cards and magic glasses, and the NBA having some cash games that were really significant. And
a Hall of Famer, no less, right? That were coach of the Portland Trailblazer, Chauncey Billups.
Right.
He's right in the middle, allegedly, of course. He's right in the middle of all this stuff, running these games like the movie Molly's Game. And Jessica Chastain plays Molly, who ran a big illegal poker game in Los Angeles. You can't do that. And plus, seeing people like you say, well, the magic, he's like something. You know, when you play poker at my house, there's no magic tricks. Well, it's a clean game.
That's right. It seems to be clean.
It seems to be clean. But then we get on to the baseball players, and we see this two Cleveland Indian guys, Emmanuel Clase, a great reliever, and Luis Ortiz, they've been arrested on charges of fixing pitches and so on. This boggles my mind that, and I guess I'm going to get on my high horse and say the file will be
self-robbing.
you're not going to get rid of gambling if you make it illegal again. The mafia will be very happy about that. So I don't think that's ever going to happen. The Supreme Court's ruled on that. We're in now, and we're going to have it. But what I can't stand, and this is the new feature of the legalizing gambling, are the prop bets. And for those of you that are unsophisticated, a prop bet is betting on a player's performance of some sort. Number of strikeouts he has, number of home runs he has, number of yardage a receiver catches during a football game. So that they're out there to bet on. In this particular case, they're betting on this guy's pitches. Is it going to be a fastball? And then, if I may add, the secondary problem here is the players get threatened by fans when they don't accomplish something. Oh my God. So, personally, get rid of the prop bets, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, just today, wasn't there a death threat of some uncovered? And I assume that gambling might have been involved with somebody who was threatened.
What's happened in baseball, sugarcoated this thing, said, well, we'll limit the amount of betting you can have on a pitcher's fastballs or curve to $250 a bet.
Please, Tyler.
Please, don't insult me with that. Baseball, clean it up here.
The hypocrisy is overwhelming because everything is about gambling. The commercials, the sponsorship, Barstool, all this stuff is all about gambling. And nobody's hiding that fact. So what are you going to do? If you're going to take gambling out of the games, that's going to be difficult. But I did read that ESPN bet. And ESPN went in big to try and be a part of FanDuel and all that. And they're out on it. So well, maybe it's a style. Maybe it is.
It gasses me when the announcers on TV give you the line on the game and a recommended parlay for you to bet before the game even starts.
And that's as the game's going in. I mean, what are we doing here? I don't care about the stuff.
And we went to Rockford Casino, and there's a line of kiosks you can bet, and it's all on props. And who's going to help it? Are they going to score a run in the first inning?
Right.
Okay. Hey, but on a positive note about baseball, yes, of course, we're tied into this a lot from the sponsorship. God bless the Cougars on a second championship.
And our guy Curtis,
the award-winning general manager,
two-time back-to-back.
But they won the cup again. And remember, slow season. They were below 500 and snuck into the playoffs. And then rolled along.
If you watch every one of our podcasts from the Cougar Stadium this summer, I believe you were giving a rundown of the win-loss record and everything else. But Curtis was always optimistic, and it turns out...
He was. You're right. And by the way, I sent Curtis a copy of our Maestro tape. He sent me back a note. He said he wants to get to the symphony. He says in the off-season here, that's a great place to go. Thank you for sending me that. I need to get to the symphony, showing that he's an all-around guy.
You know what I will do with Curtis is send him that Bugs Bunny cartoon we talked about. I don't know if we were on the air with the Maestro as a cartoon or off the air, but Bugs knows how to do it.
Hey, while we're talking here today, and I'm getting hungry for some of this stuff here, but I think we need to mention one more thing. It's very important. There is some, I know that crafty cinematographer is also involved in this. There's a lot of rumbling and not rumbling, but positive vibe about another trip that just a couple of guys might take. And just so you know about your reaction to all this, there's been some conversation, and there's been more than a conversation. There's been outlines presented about the possibility of going to, in this case, the motherland for me. You went to your motherland, to Italy. sometime next year. And first of all, I would like to ask your thoughts on going to Carolina.
Well, it's very exciting. It is a long Thursday now. But Italy and Spain, these are the two places that I would like to go yet. And I'm excited about it.
Well, we had a nice group that went to Ireland last April, May, and wonderful weather. And Intertrav of St. Charles, which sponsors these trips, were very excited about the possibility of doing another one. And they actually presented an outline that we should consider. And I would just mention in passing that, and of course the proposal is sometime in early October to the middle of October, about 9 days. And they want to go to Rome and Tuscany. And I just threw out a few names, but when you say under the Tuscan sun, you're talking about Florence, you're talking about Pisa, you're talking about Siena, and you're talking about San Gimignano and Saint-Terre, places that are magical because Tuscany is one of the two magical places of Italy in the fact that you have, since first, a lot of small villages that just allow you to absorb yourself into Italian culture. For me, it's an interesting proposal. And of course, it wouldn't be complete, however, without a trip to the Firma City. And so the proposal also involves us going to Rome for a few days. And
my understanding is you're going to try and get the Pope to sign a Sox hat.
I would like nothing more. Chuck Swirsky, by the way, was in the Pope with a Bulls jacket, not a jacket, he was in the jersey.
Oh, okay.
And he was there's a picture on Facebook about that today.
Nobody can doubt Chuck's faith.
Anyway, so as we move into the new year, keep an eye and keep an ear out for more announcements about the possibility of a second, just a couple of guys trip to Italy, and particularly Tuscany and Rome. And so
we'd be happy to answer any questions along the way. If you have any, we'll refer you to Intertrav.
Before we dig into this fine fair here,
yes,
you always thought, we said we weren't going to do this, but just a general thought or so on that's basically supposed to be the end of a government shutdown. Well, you're pretty articulate at letting your views be known of this.
Well,
you and I are both participants on Facebook.
I think that this idea that the Democrats caved, I think is a little overblown. I do think that some Democrats agreed to move on at this point in time, and it may have all been orchestrated a little bit because the holidays are approaching. They want to make sure the airports are running, people get their packages, people get their food stamps, their SNAP benefits. I mean, nobody wants to see this kind of thing going on during the holidays. So I think we will revisit these issues in January, and we need to do something about health. It's absolutely
you won't get any arguments from me. And for those who know me, you know that I've been very vocal on Facebook. I won't get into the particulars. And I guess I would say about the whole process that's developed here the last number of years is, I don't know about you, but I know that I particularly have, this is personally, I've lost some good friends. When I say lost some good friends, I don't like what they stand for on this topic, and I'm not afraid to say that. And, I think a lot of people can echo that and say the same thing on both sides of the fence, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or whatever the case may be. And that's happened. That's unfortunate because I think in the history of our country, for a lot of different reasons, we seem to come together. I don't think that's the case right at the moment. That bothers me immensely. But we'll persevere, and of course, I don't think it's...
Well, our boy Ken Burns, special coming out about the revolution, and even back then, like he says, if they took a poll, a lot of people were not in favor of the Declaration of Independence and going to war. So can you imagine that? Having that discussion. What do you mean? So it's been going on for a long time. I've never experienced it as violent as it is right now. I use that word violent as
Violent in quotation marks, but I know exactly what you're saying. It's not physical violence, but it's violent.
right.
It's toxic. Everything toxic. There's a lot of good word. I think that before this gets cold, I think you would tell the people this, and it's time for us to them.
Yep. Well, we are going to move along. We're going to finish this. Eat crabs, Alexander's, Midtown, St. Charles. And we enjoyed our time here today. We're going to be back.
We'll be back. Bob is the consummate host, and he'll have us back for a variety of things. And he's always throwing some nice fare in front of us here for us to sample, and somebody can sit there.
All right. Well, thank you ever so much. On behalf of Ray Rogina, this is Pat Crimmins, just a couple of guys. We're going to come back with closing comments?
I think we're going to do them now and make sure you thank all the appropriate people that to put this together.
I was going to thank everybody. Paul Stukel.
Oh, our crack for this?
And he was actively involved in this podcast.
He certainly was.
Yes. And of course, Kevin and his lovely wife, the videographer. Lots of setting up today.
Oh my gosh.
Lots of the perfect.
The noise level I think was low. And
that's right. Not to be confused with the excitement level, which is always high. And of course, I want to thank Ray, my partner, for another wonderful podcast as we approach the holiday season, the Thanksgiving season, and looking forward to it.
And speaking of that, I think we have a podcast coming up with a Taylor Swift
tribute bands, yes.
A band and or performer. And of course, firstly, one of my favorite time of year, go to the Kindle Market in Aurora and see some of our favorite people and some new people. And we always enjoy that. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. Oh, please.
Yes. We're already at home. All right, for Ray, for Pat, thank you ever so much for watching. Just a couple of guys.
Full on.
How about this one? People, this is very personal. People I want to tell off as mayor, but I gritted my teeth instead. So I have a small list. It's not very long, but there were a couple, that you really want to tell them off, but you didn't, and you try to use a little diplomacy.
The good news is I'm not on that list, as far as I know.
No, you're not. Okay. By the way, you know what good diplomacy is, don't you?
Oh, sure.
This is Churchill's comment here. Diplomacy is being able to tell somebody to go to hell, and they ask for directions.
That's right. Another topic possibility: colonoscopies just for fun.